Donald Trump cracked on race on the Hugh Hewitt program. There is not even a pretense of only acting as though maybe you're talking about people's race. It is now full-blown eugenics that the failed former president is engaging in. Here is Donald Trump speaking about migrants and says you can tell from their genetics, which ones are likely to murder. Listen to this.
She wants to go into government housing. She wants to go into government feeding. She wants to feed people. She wants to feed people governmentally. She wants to go into a communist party type system. When you look at the things that she proposes, they're so far off. She has no clue. How about allowing people to come through an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers? Many of them murdered far more than one person, and they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes, and we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now. They had 400.
There is just so much sick and disgusting stuff here. First of all, you have to start with immigrants as a group don't commit crimes at higher rates than native-born citizens. In fact, immigrants, both documented and undocumented, commit crimes at rates lower than American-born citizens. You have to start there. But then we go to this idea of bad genes. It's in their genes. This points to a sort of hereditary genetic biological explanation for criminal behavior. Some people are inherently predisposed to violence or murder. You can check their genetics, and then if you can do that, you can say, well, you don't get to come to the US, but you do, based on your genes, which are a proxy for race. It's scientifically inaccurate. There's no murder gene. There's no genetic predisposition to criminality. Human behavior is about social, economic, psychological, environmental factors. It's not simply biology, although certainly biology can play a part, for example, in how quickly someone might move to aggression in certain situations. But it's a fraction of the total picture. And you can't ignore the connection to Nazism. You can't ignore it. And, you know, we have this piece this week about when is it okay to say this element of an authoritarian is like Hitler or Mussolini or whatever. This has an aspect of Nazism. The genetic stuff directly echoes the eugenics that were central to Nazi beliefs. Nazis promoted these ideas of racial purity, and they believed certain groups, especially Jews and Roma, disabled folks, are genetically inferior. They pose a threat to society, and therefore it's justified to do what they want to do, which is remove these genetics from the gene pool, either through killing people or euthanasia, which is a form of killing people if done forcibly, or forced sterilization so they can't reproduce. This is right out of the Nazi playbook. And Trump's rhetoric doesn't explicitly endorse eugenics, but it points to the same ideology. Trump is like a dictator light. He wants to be a dictator, but supposedly only for a day. He believes genetics should tell us where people should fit into society or whether they should be part of American society at all. It strips people of humanity. It provides cover for doing horrible things to people. It is toxic, disgusting stuff which we've come to expect from Trump. And if we do what we need to do in 28 days, maybe 29, 30, if Trump's still out there on November 6th and 7th, it could be the end of having to hear this stuff. Let's hope. If you stay on top of the news, you follow politics and elections, why not win cash for it? Manifold is the app and website where you can win cash for predicting what will happen next in politics, and it is free to play. Questions like, will Trump win the presidential election? Will Kamala Harris flip a state? Will political commentator Destiny appear on Joe Rogan's podcast? If you predict correctly, you win play money called Mana or Sweep Cash. One Sweep Cash is redeemable for a US dollar. So if you predict right, you can turn it into cash. And the platform gives you free Mana and Sweep Cash to play with every single day. Go to manifold.markets/Pacman and you'll get free extra Sweep Cash just for signing up to start you on your journey. No purchase necessary to win cash or prizes. If you want to go bigger, You can use my link to get 40 extra sweep cash when you spend $20 on Mana. If you put that 40 sweep cash on Trump losing the election at the current odds, you win 70 sweep cash if he loses, redeemable for $70 cash. You must be a U.S. resident, 18 or older. See terms and conditions. The link is in the description.